Dallas police officers shot and killed 2 men in a 24-hour period earlier this week. In hopes of preventing a scene like the one in Missouri, Dallas County District Attorney Craig Watkins is creating a special unit to investigate future officer-involved shootings. It will be a 2-person unit made up of an investigator and a prosecutor. They'll go to shooting scenes and their investigation will run concurrent with DPD. The unit will have a $200,000 a year budget, which has to be approved by Dallas County Commissioners in September. Right now, the DA's Public Integrity Unit handles officer-involved shootings, but DA Watkins says that unit is overworked and needs to focus on one task.
Talk a little bit more about this unit, and of course. All right, District Attorney Craig Watkins joining us now in the studio to talk a little bit more about this unit. You're saying that this is going to strengthen ties between the community and the justice system. How will it do that?
Well, you know, a few years ago we noticed that there was a mistrust of police officers within Dallas County in certain communities. And we thought it was appropriate for us to go to commissioners and ask for funding to allow us to investigate police officer shootings. And so what this will do is give credibility not only to the district attorney's office, but to police officers, because there's an independent agency outside of the police investigating themselves that will do an independent investigation, which will give us the ability to tell the public that, well, yeah, this was a justified shooting, or no, it wasn't, and we're going to pursue a prosecution as a result of it.
Okay. Now we want to show some video from Monday's shooting as well in northwest Dallas, where a man was stabbed, several relatives then was killed by Dallas police. Now you're planning this 2-man unit even before this week's shooting and the riots in Missouri. Why did you already have that in the works?
Well, you know, I'm an African American that grew up in Dallas, and I understand that there are certain segments of society that just have a mistrust of police. And it's unfortunate, but this is 2014, and we're not saying that all police are bad. We think most police are good, 99% of them. But unfortunately, when we have one police officer that may make a mistake or do something wrong, then it taints the whole justice system. And so we're going to push this forward to make sure that we can regain that trust and have the individuals, when police do go patrol these areas, that the citizens are comfortable to talk to the police and even comfortable to come to the DA's office and deal with any law enforcement issues that they may have.
Assistant District Attorney Heath Harris, I'll bring you in this. You guys have the support from Chief David Brown and also Sheriff Lupe Valdez. How important is that?
It's very important, and we want to commend Chief Brown for doing a stellar job in being proactive to address these issues and trying to gain credibility back with the citizens of Dallas County when you talk about these shootings. As Mr. Watkins has already indicated, you know, a large majority of these shootings will be justified shootings, officers just doing their job in response to some of the violence that we have. But when you have that one unjustified shooting, you know, it's almost like a domino effect. You know, all the hard work that goes into law enforcement and protecting the citizens, you know. But again, you know, Chief Brown is doing a stellar job, and in fact, he's been working with us, is going to continue working with us. This is an ongoing process that Mr. Watkins and Chief Brown, who are both, you know, obviously from the Dallas area, and are definitely in touch with the vibe of how citizens feel about law enforcement, and have done a stellar job in trying to change those opinions. So we're looking forward to working with Chief Brown, but not just Chief Brown, but with other chiefs throughout the Dallas County area.
Okay, now last year a Dallas police officer shot Bobby Bennett, and he was sitting in a chair in his cul-de-sac. The officer said Bennett came at him with a knife. Surveillance video clearly showed that that never happened. We talked to an attorney from a law firm representing Bennett about your plan. He says it could cause a rift among the rank and file. We want to let you listen to his comments, and then I'd like to hear your response on the other side.
Okay.
It creates a perception of distrust, you know, that the DA's office doesn't trust them to investigate these type cases. You know, if they don't trust them to investigate these type cases, who's to say they trust them to investigate all the other cases that come to them on a daily basis?
Will undercut officer morale?
Well, absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that you know, he basically is on the wrong side of history here. There is obviously an issue of distrust with police departments already, and so we're trying to regain that trust. And the fact that he would say that on your station is just indicative of how we need to change things.
And I'm sorry, Ms. White, let me also interject. You know, he's entitled to his opinion. However, this is not a us versus them. This is a we trying to get it right. You know, the fact that we investigate these cases, you know, on an ongoing basis, we've been doing that. And we're going to continue to do that, and we'll present these cases to the grand jury. The only difference now that Mr. Watkins is trying to do is we want to get in on day one of these shootings to make sure that we have all the information, and we just feel confident that that's going to give the citizens of Dallas County more credibility, or give us more credibility with the citizens of Dallas County, that we're not just rubber stamping these indictments.
Okay. Now, we want to show you some scene video from Sunday's deadly officer-involved shooting in North Oak Cliff. Now, here's a question. What exactly happens if there's a conflict between the information that the officer gets, the investigator on the scene gets, and your investigator gets? And then, I mean, is there a potential conflict as that thing moves through the court system?
You know, there's no potential conflict. We are the chief law enforcement agency within Dallas County. We present cases to the grand jury. It's basically our decision to do that. And so if there's a conflict, that will meet itself out in a trial. Obviously the police, if they're indicted, will have the opportunity to defend themselves. And if there's difference in opinions, that will all come out in a trial. And so really there's no conflict. We're going to work with the police department. We're not trying to disparage the police department. We're just calling into question what's already been called into question with the average citizen in certain communities, and that is we need to make sure law enforcement works for everyone.
And the truth of the matter is we actually have homicide prosecutors that respond to shootings on the large majority of all the shootings that happen here in the city of Dallas. This is going to be no different.
Now, if you're choosing the investigator and you're choosing the prosecutor and you're commissioning them to do this, who's to say, a critic might say, well, then they're going to act in your best interest?
Well, our best interest is for the citizens of Dallas County, and so I think that any critics that may come forward will fall on deaf ear. We've acted in the best interest of the citizens of Dallas County for 8 years. We're going to continue to do that. We've reduced the crime rate, we've increased the credibility of law enforcement, and now we're going to do it with policing. Okay.
District Attorney Craig Watkins, Assistant District Attorney Heath Harris, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. All right.